sit here and share this mic with Damian.
Lambda Chi.
Oh, can you get my drink and chips? Yeah. Sorry. So.
I had to pee the size of the Death Star. I mean, it was just crazy.
We were wondering about that because at one point when we knew it was like less than 5 minutes left in this movie, and some dude ran out, like he could not hold it any longer, and he ran the hell back. And we could hear the noise of like, oh, something's happening, and he might be missing it.
Yeah, I think
he held
did.
it. He held it as long as he could. Like at the 1 hour mark, he was like, okay, I think I can hold it. Then it got to 2 hours and 10 minutes, and he was like, oh shit.
He will never know what he missed.
He'll never know. He won't. He has missed.
So
that
we got the
experience.
in our mid-40s, the force is not with our
Yeah, no
prostates
shit.
anymore and our bladders. That's a fact.
So before we get into Star Wars, real quick, remind us what fraternity you were in at UCF.
I was an Alpha Tau Mago, class
Okay.
of.
They weren't across the street from us.
I thought you were on the same street as us on
No,
Darwin.
No, they were
no.
on campus.
No, ATO
Oh, were
was
they?
across the street.
No. I used to park at your guys' place and
'Cause
go
it
to
was
the
empty.
ATO house for the
Lambda
parties.
Chi was adjacent, and then they were across the street
Yeah.
from Lambda Chi.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah.
ATO.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, we were trying to.
I know we used to sit there in front of the Lambda Chi house. We were like Lambda Chi, nights after nights, and they're all like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I just bought this shirt down at the bookstore, and I was in."
So of course we don't want to know a goddamn thing about the movie,
Oh
but
my
we
God!
also
the-
want to hear
the
you talk
Aven-
about it.
The Avengers show up, and with the Guardians of the
No
Galaxy.
shit.
God, I would not be
So-
surprised.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
He's in it too.
We've had a
and Harry
couple
Potter.
of questions for like a female viewer who sat down and told us how awesome it was, and she was happy and she was cute, and she even wore the Princess Leia Hoth hair.
What?
Hoth hair and
Hoth
the
hair.
ve-
She had
and-
Hoth
and she-
hair.
and she had the Hoth vest on.
But
I thought that's
They're
what
letting the new group in.
I thought that's what happens when you wake up in the morning.
This might be my group now. This is 10 o'clock. These people are. This is going to be the 140 group.
This would be
is
the
my
140 group. These are your people.
Right. So eventually I'm going to have to ask if I
So,
can.
so you're going to leave, huh?
No, I'm going to do what Todd did, which was get in with the manager and give me my little arm bracelet and be let in.
Depends on what it is. Oh, is this your group too?
So one of the questions we can ask, it doesn't divulge too much, was how was the 3D?
You know, here's one thing I got to admit. 3D was good,
Good?
but one thing for me, being someone that works in this sort of industry, is that when I watched IMAX 3D, it looks like one of those tilt shift kind of pictures from Photoshop.
Yeah.
Where everything was a little bit miniaturized, but yet it's real. So for me, it takes me a little bit out of it, or it actually feels a bit like Star Tours. So
Oh, okay.
that's what it's kind of like. You know, the experience of viewing is like a 2-hour version of Star Tours. But I liked it.
Okay.
It wasn't distracting.
No, I actually was
Now-
I really got into the story. I thought
right.
I was the same way. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be distracted by this.
Was there any time that the aspect ratio changed in the film?
I didn't know. I was actually watching the movie.
Right, so you
So
didn't
that was
notice.
good. I
'Cause I
didn't
know
notice
sometimes it's like the whole screen is filled.
Right.
Was that what movie was that we saw here? Was it Superman?
No, it was Dark Knight.
Or Dark
I feel
Knight?
like we should talk to her.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez, okay. Art, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go get in line now. But
Your showing is which one? Oh,
Well-
but that's right. You're not in the IMAX theater. You're in the
Right.
regular theater.
Yeah.
It may be harder for you to get a good seat. Yes, absolutely. Brian, always good to
Thanks.
see you. We
Absolutely.
will not be doing a show this Friday, but from then on, we'll be back on our regular Friday shows.
all right, great. Thanks
Brian
for having
Downs,
me.
ladies and gentlemen.
you,
Brian
Brian.
Downs visiting us. The Berlin Fraternity, author of The Berlin Fraternity, is always in the Gods and Monsters neighborhood and always willing to talk to us. Thank you, Brian. So, okay, 3D, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
If you were to see it again, would you? I'd like to see it in an IMAX
I will.
non-3D.
I will see it I'll see it in regular D.
Sure,
1D.
regular D.
Regular
double D?
Just give me the
Double D's
regular
right.
D.
Right.
Other question we wanted to ask: did you stay all the way to the end for the
Yes,
credits?
Yes, I did.
And you
Any
know,
Easter eggs at the end?
Negative.
well, did we see at least a
I'll give
something
that away.
George
Negative.
Lucas in? You know,
Standard-
much thanks to George Lucas
No,
or
standard credits.
F you, George Lucas.
Right.
It's ours now.
Lucasfilm Limited logo
Yeah.
come up at the beginning.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and in the back.
I almost don't. I still don't want to know how it begins. No 20th Century Fox fanfare. Don't say anything. I don't want to know about that. Uh-oh. Is this person irate or
Damien-
happy? I don't know. But
Damien,
Kevin
will,
is the man.
will you spin the thing toward me?
Oh, the viewfinder, so we can
flippy
make
thing.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Just spin it. No, it's toward us.
The
Toward
other
us,
way.
The other way.
Do what
Up.
you did, but just do it the
There
other
you
way.
go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. All right. That's
Hello.
good. Yeah.
There's Damien.
All right.
Other questions for you. The trailers that you saw. What stood out in your mind?
Why do you have such a hard on for the trailers? We've all seen
what
these
else can we
trailers
talk
before.
about? I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
we can talk about
Did you see it yet?
I have not seen it.
All right,
am
I will
just.
let me spoil the whole. No.
Go ahead.
Please don't
no,
do that.
No.
We can ask you.
Well, hold on. Actually, we are actually a group of 4 that I think I should start this face group on, and I'm.
You no longer need to share microphones.
Oh, very good.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
That I think we should start a group called the 77 Group.
The 77.
You said this before.
All right.
This is very good.
Because we're the ones that actually seen it in 77, and
We
what is it
did.
like, and what it's versus now.
Continue.
So what I will simply say is this, is that yes, it's Star Wars. Yes, it's a new Star Wars. It's a great tie-over. It says, this was your dad's Star Wars. And then now this is your kid's Star Wars.
I am getting a twinge. I am getting a twinge of not 100%.
What do you mean?
Like, this is not the greatest film of all time, according to life and the universe and all that.
I think nowadays that's going to get harder to do.
Yeah.
You know, and the only, if I can make a criticism, which I kind of don't want to.
It's hard. I imagine it'd be hard
without
to.
saying things.
Sure.
No, without giving things away.
Yeah.
But I'll say maybe something aesthetically. It's just for me personally, and I think it's because I'm getting more and more gray that I got to paint over with hair. With hair color all the time. Is I just like something to slow down just for a moment. I just want to catch my breath for half a second.
I can understand that, yeah, because action films have become a roller coaster ride that never has any slow rises.
Right.
Oh, that's true. That's a good way to describe
Downhill and around corners,
Right.
every moment.
Right, exactly. And the thing was, but back in that time, and back in the
Those are open ear headphones, so
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, you
Back
can't go sideways.
Back in the 70s, Star Wars was fast for that time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now this
yeah.
is for people that are already like, that stuff's slow.
Because if you put The Shining next to Star Wars, they're just like, holy shit, I can't handle Star Wars.
Right. Yeah. So now it's amped up.
Yeah.
It's cleaned up in the sense of we're in a digital world with all that. There is definitely stuff for children in it that I was like, wow, this is great.
Good.
Does the movie feel like it was directed by J.J. Abrams?
No.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
No. You know what it actually feels like? This is my little...
Directed itself.
No. This feels like Steven Spielberg's kid directed it.
Nice.
Wow. Cool.
That's what it feels
And
like.
what was the other J.J.
But little-
Abrams movie? The 8 millimeter, not 8 millimeter.
8
8
millimeter.
Super-
That
yeah,
felt
Super
like
8.
Super
Super 8.
Super 8.
8 millimeter was very,
That was
very different film. Very different.
That was based off of his student film,
Right.
Kodak Ektachrome 436.
That's
so
right.
I made that up. I mean, come on,
Yeah, THX 1139.
So yeah.
something
So this
else,
also felt like Spielberg Jr. directed this.
Yeah, it did.
That's a good
but
thing,
I,
though.
I say that as a compliment.
Right.
I do. It's got some kind of Spielberg-ish, moments to it. It has a lot. It's got a lot of content crammed into it because they're really restarting things.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's some moments where you watch something that you could tell when they watch, say, the prequels, they're like, it kind of should have felt like
Right.
they kind of gave those kind of feelings of moments to it. But
Here's one thing I don't mind is spoiled or not. Were there any lens flares?
you have to see
Yeah.
the movie to find it.
Okay, you have to look for them.
I'm betting that there were a couple,
like
but
a-
that's just any film now.
I'm actually curious to see if there's anybody who has, not seen any of the movies, and this is their first experience
be
with Star
interesting.
Wars.
Those would be
Interesting.
fools.
Those
I know,
peop-
I just
those
couldn't
peop-
imagine that.
Those people are 5 years old, and
You're right.
but,
yeah, you
They're
but
they're maybe too young. Well, they're maybe too young to have enjoyed the movies on DVD or Blu-ray. But that mom or dad is saying, let this be his movie experience.
let me at least address the new cast from us that went through the prequels.
all right.
This cast is far better.
They act.
They're really good. It's
I'll be
like,
damned.
when I was thinking of Daisy Ridley, I'm like, I kind of can't wait to see what happens to her next.
That's a good.
And even Oscar Isaacs, he's really good, and
Unlike Hayden Christensen, where you're just like, God, I hope he dies next.
like can
His arms and legs be cut off now,
right,
and not the third movie?
right. Yeah, can we just let's just set him on fire, 2 minutes
But
in.
that's good. That means that they did a good job of casting.
Yes, the cast is
yeah.
really
And maybe
good.
George Lucas was too heavily involved with casting for the prequels.
I think George liked casting people. I don't think George liked telling people how to do the scenes.
Right.
So it's kind of like, well, I hired you, and then you just go in and just you be that guy, and then I shoot it. Okay.
Wow,
and then the rest are like,
You would think there's no premiere of a movie tonight.
This
to
is the
look
first
behind
it's
you.
been this quiet since they let the people in from the 7 o'clock show. What time was it? 5:30 they let people come in?
5:30 was yes. They let everyone in for the IMAX, the 7 o'clock show. I can't believe I actually saw the first showing of this thing across the country.
pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much across the country. Just
Pretty
like,
big deal.
It was
Yeah.
just
That
like
is
being at
pretty
the
big
Chinese
deal.
Theater in 1977. You were
Yeah,
kind of seeing it in the
I
biggest
couldn't
theater,
believe
the biggest IMAX theater in Florida. So yeah, you got to see that. I'll see it the third time
Oh.
after this show, unless I just go and sneak in now.
You know what? You'll probably be one of the very first showings of the actual release date.
Day at 1:40 a.m. You're right.
Now-
That'll be me.
Now, as the change out of people meeting into the theater was going on, I was talking to Tom Alexander, who has his own podcast he does called Those Two Jerks, and he's a
Those two.
yeah.
ThoseTwoJerks.com. Can we find that, or that's just the name of the podcast?
That's
is
in the
Those Two
podcast.
Jerks?
Very,
Okay.
It's actually very good. It's
Are
him,
these
it's
still,
just,
these
it's
are
just him
still,
and a
these are
buddy.
still
Have you
people
sit in for
filing
one of those before?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Are they
dare
out of a
you.
different movie?
I know, and I asked him to come join it, but
Where is he?
he had to go home.
Oh.
So
He's gotta drive.
They have a newborn, so
He's a father.
Oh, they didn't bring him to the movie? That would have been great.
know.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I didn't see any of the bringing my
Right.
baby to the movie things. I didn't
Right.
see that this time. Unless they were papoosed in.
They left. Don't worry. There's a slew of children in cars out in the.
Oh, yeah, with the windows
Oh,
slightly
no.
cracked.
Right.
It's supposed to be a cool night. It's okay.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, it's
The
fine.
temperatures.
It's
yeah.
fine.
But one thing that he said it was we're kind of joking about a couple, just the general thing of it. We're like, when you're kind of watching this movie and you're actually watching the movie, you feel like you're like, wow, I'm getting more spoilers as every minute goes by.
Because you're so used to nothing
We're
but
so used to spoilers.
trailers where it's like, wow, this scene's revealing way too much.
Right,
Oh, wait,
like,
I'm in the actual
wait,
theater.
I paid $20 for this. I'm sorry, And wait a minute, where's the talkback? I scroll up where people going, this sucks. I can't wait. Thumbs down.
Well, overwhelming response from the people in the theater. At times, applause. At times, cheering.
Oh, when certain people show up,
Yeah.
the place goes nuts.
Remember when we were at the Pleasure Island
Just
Theater?
like an episode of Married with Children.
Exactly.
When we were in the theater at the Pleasure Island Theater for episode 2 when Yoda went batshit crazy with his lightsaber.
Oh, God.
And all the nerds were like, "Ah!"
You know what though? That was an interesting pivotal moment because we never actually saw Yoda make
Right.
any actual motion.
They never wielded a weapon before.
No,
No,
I
all
mean,
he had was his cane.
We just knew he was a badass old Jedi
Right.
who was all powerful, but as soon as he, and it made a little sense to me because if you have that much mental power, of course you can use your
Right.
mental power to move your physical body, and yeah, that was pretty badass, and I was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, and remember how loud everybody was in the theater when we saw it? They
No,
were
I
like,
didn't see
they
the
were
theater.
screaming.
Yeah, they were losing that.
We were at the Pleasure Island
I
Theater.
was
for
I was
that.
busy rolling my eyes.
I know. look at that computer dense.
Right.
Wow. Oh, because that was the first movie where he was a CGI character.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
CGI,
He was
yeah.
still a puppet in the Phantom Menace,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
that
yeah.
puppet's
Right.
been replaced now.
Now,
But-
is there a tie-in yet, or do we already know if the characters or the actors who are in this one right here are going to already been signed to the?
Well,
next
if
few
they
movies?
were, I don't want to know because we don't know who lives and dies
That's
or
a good
whatever.
point,
But
yeah.
I'm wondering if they all signed 3-picture deals. They've learned now.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
did.
Don't do 1-picture deals and then have to try and re-sign that person later at a.
Something's happening.
What's happening? I'm hearing
I
some
don't
sort
know,
of.
there's yelling. There's a ruckus.
No, people are yelling and smiles and shaking hands.
I couldn't tell. There was some sort of.
I heard fucking something.
Right, so I
and
thought,
that's always a head
let's-
turner. Like what? Huh?
Let's spin the camera around. Something fucked up's about to happen. So good. We're safe. So they're
just-
not the 1:40 a.m. showing, which is mine. They have
No-
not let them in yet.
Yeah,
Nobody's
they're-
lined up.
They're standing outside.
And it
in
is
the
a
cold.
sold-out show. It is sold out.
I can clearly see them
Oh,
out
that's
there.
right. They are out there.
Yeah, they are.
Are you
They're
ser-
lined up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious? The 140.
1:40 is sold out, and they said the 5:20 a.m. is half sold out.
You want to know why? I mean, why it works? I've been saying it's all
Because
sold
they
out.
sold all the tickets.
Very good, Greg.
I don't know.
No, because I mean, we're actually in a town where there's a lot of folks that do third shift work.
Yeah.
So you're done working at the theme
The
park.
Disney
you're
workers.
Like,
yeah, hell
that's
yeah.
true,
You're
yeah.
right.
All
Yeah.
service industry people.
Now,
Sure.
now in Sarasota, this would never go over.
No.
Not in Naples either. No.
5 a.m. would because all the old people are up at that point.
Right,
but-
to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And they're like, well, I'm up from the bathroom.
I
Let's
heard
go
the
to the Star
10:30
Wars.
show didn't even sell out in Naples.
Or Fort Myers either.
So, of course, you're going to be seeing the movie again. You won't be probably watching it in 3D again because you can say you've done that.
Right. Been there, done that.
But you can say overall you were not annoyed or distracted by 3D in any way.
Yeah, it's actually really, I was really enjoying the experience of it.
I mean, this is the first chance we've got to see the Millennium Falcon in 3D.
Yeah,
In
so,
3D. So it's honestly like a 2-hour Star Tours movie. It's kind of fun.
Because like 5 or 6 years ago, they were going to re-release every movie in 3D, and they started in order with The Phantom Menace.
Right.
And then they stopped
Because everyone hated it.
because
Yeah,
everyone
well.
wasn't thrilled with it. So we never got to see the
Nobody
original.
liked Phantom Menace in the first place. Why,
Right.
Putting it in 3D doesn't help.
Right.
Right.
So then
That
they
doesn't
never
make it
got
any
around to
better.
it, and then the sale
Only for the
happened.
collector who wants a copy of it.
The
Well,
sale,
sure, yeah.
the sale happened, and then the
I mean,
Blu-ray box came out, and they didn't even include it in 3D.
So when
Never
you
transferred them.
Seeing the Phantom Menace in 3D is like it's like the same thing as taking a picture of a piece of shit and actually looking at a piece of shit. It just doesn't.
In fact, the actual shit might be worse because
Right.
there's extra dimensions of it.
Yeah.
And so, would you say how long did it take you to realize you weren't necessarily watching a film with glasses on? Because
that's true.
that's how I measure 3D films.
That's
When
true.
I watched Avatar, it was annoying for about 4 or 5 minutes,
Right.
and then it was just so completely what is the word? Enveloping or
In depth.
not in depth. It's immersive.
immersive.
It was so immersive. Now, when I watched Mad Max in 3D, that was annoying through most of it.
Really?
And I
Because
was
was it all because it was practical effects and it wasn't special effects? It was all
think so.
people and outdoors and desert, and you didn't need 3D.
I think so because I never stopped thinking that I was watching a movie through glasses.
Yeah.
At that point, and it was just a situation where I really would have preferred to have watched it in 2D.
I saw it at home when the kids were at school one day, and I blasted it on. I loved
you got
that
a
movie.
giant TV set.
I
in your-
loved that movie. I watched it
I don't know
back
why.
to back.
I don't know why you ever go out to see a movie in the first
What,
place.
Mad Max?
Mad Max nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Picture also last
So
year.
did your daughters enjoy the Mad Max?
No, they were at school, so they did not see that.
But it's that
Reese
movie
and
is
Riley
what-
putting a grill in their
You should-
faces.
Yeah.
Daddy, you put me in the front
You
of the
should
car.
explain
Bring
that
in the
movie to
spray.
him as being that's a girl power.
Oh,
movie.
It's
yeah.
a girl power movie. Hell yeah, it's girl
Absolutely.
His
power.
nose is all squished.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, 3D, I mean, like I said, it's like a Star Tours movie, like
Right.
saying. But for me, some of that 3D stuff on some of the effects, and I don't want to tell about what they are.
Explosions.
No, I mean, talking like some of the ships and things,
Sure.
things
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
ship.
yeah.
And I don't want to give details of it because
Right, I know it's
you
tough.
guys.
I know you're
But-
having a hard time.
Well, shit, I mean, something at the very beginning
I could say
of,
a gun on a ship.
like the
Okay,
very
'cause
beginning
you
of A
should
New
know there'd
Hope,
be a gun on the
when
ship.
the Imperial cruiser goes over top of you.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking fantastic 3D shot.
Sure.
Yeah, but the thing is that one thing I don't like about 3D, and when I was watching it, and also some of the previews are in 3D.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I like
So
when they
it's-
do that.
It's kind of like what they're doing is they're taking a couple shot at your ribs before they really give it to you.
Right.
Like, hey, you take that.
get your
Come on.
brain
This
used
is
to
a
this.
Disney movie, so was one of the 3D trailers The Jungle Book?
I don't. Yeah, that was in. Yes, that was in 3D.
Is that the only Disney attached trailer? I guess you count Marvel as Disney.
Yeah, they had a Marvel one on there. I don't want to say it. So
Winners,
it'll-
whatever, Civil War,
the
Civil
Civil
War,
War
right?
was
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Would you guys care about what trailers? are
No,
on
we
it?
already asked. We asked the
Okay.
people in
Art
front of
does.
us.
I don't know why art does.
No,
but yeah.
no, I don't care which the trailers are. The only trailers I don't watch are Star Wars trailers. All the other movies, I don't care. I've seen
Have
all
you seen
the other.
any of the Star Wars trailers?
No.
None.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
well.
wow.
Todd was sitting with
Wait,
you. It was
did
the
you?
same way.
You didn't even accidentally see the teaser trailer somewhere?
If it showed up on TV, I would turn away or mute the volume. And you always get that like 2 seconds of what the fuck am I watching, and then you stop it.
Yeah.
See,
But
I
no,
thought I
that's
was
it.
doing good by just seeing the first two and then calling it cold there, but by going
No.
saying you haven't seen anything.
Todd was the same
No,
way. He's
I
seen
haven't
none.
either.
Wow.
Kind of gone dark from the internet these past 2 days. How was it?
Enjoy, have fun.
You're gonna be by Gods and Monsters anytime?
Yeah,
Set up some coffee and do a show.
we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. All right. Every Friday.
Nick
Friday,
and Matt
we'll be there. Come on
from
by.
Coffee Shop of Horrors
Coffee
have
Shop of
just
Horrors.
ran by to let us know that the film was amazing.
Coffee Shop of Horrors was something that Todd was hoping to try and get permanently at Gods and Monsters. Have them have a permanent booth set up. They're working out details on that.
They
that
went
might still be
solo.
a thing. Yes. But they've got as many craft beers as Off-World has. They've got as many coffees, so it could be very interesting. Saturday morning cartoons and coffee or something like that. That would be very interesting. Okay, so I've already seen the Star Trek trailer. I'm happy to see it just to hear the Beastie Boys blasting through my ears.
Yeah, I saw that trailer too, and I hope they're not really playing with you by that. I hope it is the Sabotage music playing in that part of the movie.
It's not.
I know
No.
it's not. I know. I hate
No,
that.
the first 2 Star Trek movies played the Beastie Boys song. Don't you remember when
Oh,
they
they
showed
did.
young James Kirk?
No.
And he was playing Sabotage in the car on classic
Yeah,
radio?
I'm
but-
just saying when he says, "Is that music?" Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's actually a
Yeah,
Sabotage
it's
playing.
not. It's
Oh.
not going to be.
No.
Yeah, you see, that's it's just like the movie Night and Day with Tom Cruise. They
tricked
They
you
do that with
that.
trailers all the
I
time,
can't
where they
stand that.
they have trailer music that you'll never hear in the
But
actual
You
film.
can't even get it on. It's not even on the soundtrack.
But we
Right.
do know that Kirk likes that song because he was listening to that song in the car when he stole that car from his dad or stepdad.
Yeah.
There
No,
may
yeah,
there may be
stepdad.
another BC song
Right.
or definitely a song in the same genre.
Well,
of,
they've had a song for each
Sabotage.
movie,
No,
so
there
this
was
will be
a-
the
what was
third
the-
movie.
What was the Beastie Boys' second one?
Sabotage for the first one, Body Movin'
Yeah,
was the
Body
second
Movin'.
one, which was during one of the scenes between him and the green chick that he was
Body
having
Moving's
sex with.
kind of a deep cut. I mean,
Yeah,
that wasn't really
was.
a
It was
single.
it was a single. Remember
it?
the music video for it? It was the sword fighting and the cut the head off and the blood was spurting
Oh
everywhere.
God! But that was, I mean, it was
was-
on the rotation for a week and a half. And
Yeah,
then
that's
it
true.
was just
To,
a thing.
to us, it
gone.
was yeah. So perhaps they'll pick a third song. I don't know. Somewhere up in MCA is having a good laugh at that because he was a big Star Trek fan and Star Wars. This is
I don't.
The,
It's going to be. I don't know. It's going to be a weird kind
Yeah.
of moody
no,
kind of.
I don't know.
I
They're
don't
not gonna play
know.
that song.
I love that song. Yeah.
Oh, very very good choice. Speaking of deep
in
cut.
fact, in that trailer for Star Trek, I did see Kirk having a T-shirt that says "Get off my dick,"
No way. Did he really?
That would be fantastic.
and it was from a girl he just got done banging. So,
So
Nice.
I'm just figuring. Well, I saw the Star Trek trailer online the other day, and I know they must have said, "All right, guess what? You guys are going to edit the trailer for this movie, and this trailer is going to play in front of Star Wars. So edit the shit out of this
Right,
trailer.
right.
All right, let's just go back to the Beastie Boys song we used in the first movie and
There was
edit
some
around
action.
it.
There was some action. There was some explosions. You know what? I don't even understand why they even do trailers in front of movies anymore because everybody has. If
yeah, I agree.
it's
Online.
ridiculously easy to see whatever you want to see online the day before it's actually released.
Oh yeah, they
There's
did that.
always that. Oh, I didn't know that movie was coming out. Or
Yeah.
there's always that. Not in these type movies.
There was
though.
that time when people would buy a ticket for a movie
Just
to
yeah,
see the
you're
trailer.
right. You're
Right.
right.
And they're like, I just want to see the trailer.
And how many times have you been in a theater and a loud trailer plays and then it gets real quiet for the credits at the end of the trailer and you hear at least one person say, I'm going to go see that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the time. Because they
Or-
hooked them on that trailer.
Well, again, speaking of trailers, and then also the ones with Star Wars, since you never saw any of any of it, and I did. All those trailers never gave anything away.
Well, that's good.
And I
That's
got to admit,
good to
I'm
hear.
like going,
Looking
Okay.
back now.
Good.
I
That's,
mean,
that's
I did
good
that.
to
it's
know.
one of those things where you sit and you're watching that scene, you're like going, that's probably a scene with.
Right.
No, it's not. It's like they did a really good job of going, this little bit is just, you're going to see a window of
Right.
this little bit.
I
Good.
did that after Phantom Menace. After I watched it, I went right back and saw the trailer for it, and I was like, yeah, they didn't really give anything
What they
away.
should do is they should give an Academy Award to those marketing
Trailers.
department and be like, look, thank you for,
Right.
not making trailers.
Because a
like,
well-placed, well-edited trailer
Not a
can give you a
mini-movie.
guaranteed $30-40 million opening weekend.
Not
based
so
on how a
much
trailer.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Not so
No.
much.
No, not so much.
So now the 1:40 a.m. crowd is behind us now.
Not as big. Oh, but look at there's still a giant line out there. What
Yeah.
is that?
I think they let them in sections.
I
They
see.
do.
Because it's
Yeah.
not like it's just one long line. It's like
Yeah,
line
where's
A
the
and
line for the
B.
people who are just seeing the regular movies
what
every
they
night?
do. What they do is actually this part is like, this is all this part will hold.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, you're done. Just be over here. And then they bring him in.
Like Braveheart. Hold.
I wonder if
But-
we've got to get Kevin over here, so he's got to get me, so I don't have to wait in this line. Like
I gotta
he did for
admit,
Todd.
the management has done honestly a wonderful job of keeping this thing organized and
You know what?
peaceful.
From
It's
the
also
plans
They
it's,
seriously
had-
did.
it's also the clientele. I mean, the Star
Yeah.
Wars fans are not assholes.
right.
I mean,
I know.
I saw a lot of interaction between just regular people from different groups over here. They were all happy and talking and polite and not they've obviously been waiting for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
25 years.
gotta admit, yeah. I mean, it's like I was meeting friends who had got the tickets ahead of time,
Sure.
that kind of thing, and so I went in, waited in line just to get a
Holy
spot,
hell, close the door. You're giving away scenes from the movie.
and
you cut that part out.
That was probably a trailer for something.
that's just Batman versus Superman. That's just Zack Snyder,
Oh.
it's 2 minutes of stuff blowing up.
Hey, look, it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Was
Oh, cool.
was there a preview for 13 Hours, the Michael Bay movie?
No.
No.
13 hours.
Wow,
I'm not aware of that one.
That's the Benghazi one, I believe. I think it's called
no.
13 Hours. I might be
There's
mistaken.
there's a
with the title.
poster up here for somewhere. I think I saw a 13 hours poster somewhere.
By the way, I love your wife very much.
I love her sometimes too.
Damian's wife and Greg will get on Facebook and on a topic is oh.
What's happening now?
What? Yeah, they
yeah,
went
yeah,
in.
they're in,
No.
they're in.
Speaking of Todd and Anna going in, I'm going in at the 1:40 show. Is there any way I could do what they did after we pack everything down and not have to kind of get in line for that? All right.
Oh yeah, you'll be
Good show, everybody.
You'll be escorted in.
Do
I
you
mean,
have
what?
time to sit, or are you busy? You can't. I just want to know how your night. How's your night been going?
Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That good, huh?